we use the Eurail Pass to travel 14 days out of 15 that we purchased in Europe. In this video, we cover the things that worked and the things that did not work so you can plan your trip accordingly. Let's begin with a summary before we dive into the specific examples. The vision of the Eurail Pass is to buy a number of days of travel with hop-on and hop-off rights during the days of travel to travel across 33 countries, recognizing that some routes require reservation and related fees, and to be able to manage the trips and reservations on the app. The reality is that the first two are true. You do buy a number of days of travel with hop-on and hop-off rights on the days of travel, and you are able to travel across 33 countries. The next two are covered in the upcoming slide. For these two items, the key issues are that managing trips and reservations requires both the app and access to the Eurail website, which means you've got to set up accounts on the Eurail website and activate the app. That means that you need to have data connections for both the app and the web. Some larger stations and trains may have Wi-Fi, but not all of them. The Eurail website reservation site did not work when needed, and that required visits to the train station where lines were long and language can be a challenge. Stations can help with trips on in-country railway, but not if a connection is another country to another railway. The lack of integration between the app and the web, and it could be more user-friendly. So these are things to keep in mind. Let's begin by going over to the Eurail site and setting up an account and looking at how we can purchase a ticket. Here we are at the Eurail site, and we'll go ahead and click on the login button on the top right. And that will take us to the login page where if you don't have an account, you can set up an account. If you have one, type in your email and your password. If not, you can sign in with Facebook, Google, Apple, or if you don't have an account, you can sign up now. So let's get that done and move right along. Once you click that, you need to type in your first name and email address, confirm it, enter a password and confirm the password, agree to the terms, and then go ahead and click to proceed. I've got an account, so I won't go through that here. Next, we'll plan our trip. Let's look at the railway map to kick this off. We can zoom in and zoom out, and we can scroll and drag the map across if we want to. You can see that there are lots of connections. The blue lines are ferries. We couldn't figure out how to get on the ferries, although our trip did take us to the Greek Isles. And there's also ferries between England and Ireland. The Eurail system uses the hub and spoke model. You can see that Paris is an excellent hub. And then there are connections along the Mediterranean too. Paris, Zurich, Munich, Vienna, and Frankfurt and Hamburg act like hubs, and Madrid is the hub for Spain. Let's go back and take a look at the map again. Here's the entire map. We can see the ferries highlighted in blue. And now let's go over to the train times. Here we're looking at a Basel to Paris, departing on September 10th around 12 p.m. Now, you might need a reservation, and that's the link to reservations. You can plan with the app on your phone or your mobile device. Searching for timetables on your mobile app is really easy and intuitive. And for the reservations, when you click that, it takes you to the Eurail site to process the reservation. So let's go ahead and take a look at the train times and plan a journey from Paris to Amsterdam. On September 10th, and search. And these are some of the options that are available to us. We can select an earlier time by clicking there. At the bottom, there's another tab to find later times. And we see that there are reservations required, and the fee is about $38.10. When you select one of those journeys, it pops up on the right. We can select the filters and see what choices we have. Direct trains, in-pass trains, high-speed trains, etc. Let's back out of this. We're back at the plan your trip, and now we'll once again take a look at train times and do that Paris to Amsterdam trip and see what our options are. So Paris to Amsterdam, search, and here we see the available trains and the reservation fees. And in order to get a reservation, you need to log in. Next, let's take a look at seat reservations and can you avoid reservations? Yes, you can. Some of the routes are pretty long, but if you're hopping from small town to small town, you may be able to get around without reservations. But if you want to get from one point to another quickly using a high-speed train, a reservation is usually required, but not always. Now let's look at passes. We can select Find Your Pass, and it provides some guidance. It asks you to plan, but you don't need to do that. It says fill in a starting city and a destination, etc. Let's just go directly to one of the sample passes, 7 days for $320. It says for youth, but when we click it and we open it up, we can see what the options are. It offers you ideas on what you can do in 7 days. It's a global pass. So that means in 1 month you can travel for 7 days anywhere on the network. So let's get that pass. When the site pops up, you notice that that's for a youth that's between 12 and 27 years old and it's second class. We're going to select a senior and turn the youth to 0. And let's look at the second class for a 7 day pass, and it's $384. Let's look at first class. It's $488. It's about $100 more. Let's now look at the 15-day pass, $558 for second class and $708 for first class, $150 more for 15 days of travel within 2 months. And that's a ticket we actually ended up getting. So let's select the 7 days and add it to the cart. And now we can see that I've got one senior for 7 days at $384, second class, and we go to checkout, and it not only shows us our order, but it also gives you a chance to upgrade to first class for $104. There's no charge for a mobile pass. It'll be delivered by email and you can activate it immediately. There's a fee for a paper pass, and after that, just go ahead and enter your traveler details and payment, and that completes the transaction, and you'll receive an email showing the payment processed and a link to activate your app. You'll receive a payment confirmation that shows what you've bought and what the charge was, and then you also receive another document that gives you the traveler name you registered and the pass number. The pass number was 6 alphanumeric characters, and you need that to activate the app once you download it. Then comes instructions on how to go ahead and use the app to add the pass and connect the pass to a trip and then to activate the pass. And then there are instructions on how to use the app to plan a journey, save it to a trip, add it to your pass, and then activate it so you can show your ticket when a conductor asks for it. And now let's go get the app. In the Apple ecosystem, this is what it looks like. It's a rail planner. Once you download it, you can start searching for trips. You don't need to be connected to your pass to do that. But to actually save a trip, you need to be connected. So here we're searching for Paris, Amsterdam, and we see the options and the reservation fees. We can opt to look at only trains that do not have a reservation fee. We can see that the durations are much longer. There are 4, 5, and 6 connections involved. And some of them still have a supplement. And a supplement is exactly that, an additional reservation fee. So the Anver Central to Amsterdam is where supplement is required, and you can get that on the train or online. And then when we look at what trains require supplements, we get some additional information. This information sadly is not complete in that it's not clear how there's a supplemental fee in that trip that we planned. But here's one from Brenner to Tarvisio on the routes, what those supplemental fees might look like, and they're not very large. A €5 fee if you buy it in advance, or if you buy it on the train, it's 10 or 15 euros for that particular route. We look at the Intercity Direct in Netherlands. It's at €2.90 in first or second class. And then there's EIP in Poland, etc. So let's exit out of this. Now let's look for an alternate route from Paris to Amsterdam. For this, we're going to take a look first at Paris to Brussels and see what the connection is like from Brussels to Amsterdam. The leg from Paris to Brussels looks good. There are several trains with no reservations required. Now let's look at the leg from Brussels to Amsterdam. There's that supplement again. Let's try an alternate route. For the alternate route, let's try going from Paris to Frankfurt and then from Frankfurt to Amsterdam to see whether we can skip that reservation required. Paris, Frankfurt, and seat reservations are recommended but not required for many of these. There's one with a supplement included, so you're good to go on this one. And now the question is, what about trains from Frankfurt to Brussels? And these trains run pretty frequently, pretty much every hour, hour and a half. And now let's try from Frankfurt to Amsterdam. Once again, seat reservations recommended but not required. So you could do this trip without those seat reservations. But the system doesn't make it easy for you to find it, so you might have to do some hunting and pecking. And once you need a reservation, you go over to the Eurail site and you log in. And then once you're in the site, you can go to seat reservations. The website also allows you to find train schedules and complete the reservation process. Unfortunately, we had a number of occasions where the website was overloaded and we couldn't make certain reservations, particularly when they went internationally. So keep that in mind as you make your plans. If you're planning a trip on the Eurostar to get from England or the United Kingdom to mainland Europe, then you need to go to the Eurostar site in addition to registering on the Eurail site and logging in and setting up an account and purchasing a reservation on the Eurostar. Here's what the Eurostar receipt looks like. And here's an email from the Eurostar site saying that we need to go to the website and print out that reservation to get on the Eurostar across the channel. In summary, the Eurail Pass can be a great tool if you plan your vacations ahead and know where you want to go and you can make those reservations well in advance. If, however, you're thinking of it as a very flexible hop on, hop off program, then you need to plan for a little extra time to go to stations sometimes when the website doesn't allow you to make reservations, or your reservations require you to take trains from one country into another and then trains in that country. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.